Can we all offer our obeisances to Apurva Prabhu and Mother Kamalini before we begin? Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. As we read in Shastra, sadhu sanga sarva shastra koy, lava matra sadhu sange sarva siddhi hoy. Shastra describes that a moment's association with a very advanced soul is the secret formula for making quick advancement. It's very rare to find devotees in this world. The 11th canto Bhagavatam describes it's very rare to get a human body, and what's more rare is to get the association of a very advanced soul. So we are so fortunate in our community, in our beautiful, wonderful home of Radha Golokananda. We have so many inspiring, exalted, advanced, experienced, simple-hearted, selfless, dedicated Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Beautiful. To recapitulate, Prabhu and Mataji put together, gave us 5 points. Attending morning program with children, serving other ashramas, maintaining celibacy, being satisfied and happy with the person that we are married, and 5, that's all, being grateful, counting our blessings. So now we enter the 3-minute zone, although we've been not following the rules, but that's fine. The cows have been crying for some grass for some time.
20 seconds ahead of time. So we have 20 seconds to warm up.
The cows are busy playing with their calves. Now we enter the 3-minute zone, and one question for Mataji and one question for Prabhu. The question for Prabhu is, you're so senior, you're so experienced, you've seen more than 50 years of the movement. What keeps you so humble, so accessible, so approachable? You sit ahead, down on the floor with a little notebook, taking notes, every Sunday feast, every class, and you're so loving and so lovable. What makes Apurva Prabhu Apurva Prabhu?
Well, part of it is being married to Kamalini.
That's a compliment, by the way. Don't you take it the other way. That's a compliment. Yeah.
It's very important. Although over the last week or 2 I've been off my schedule because my Mongol Artik driver is in India. But if you go to Mongol Artik every day and attend the morning program, that is putting Krishna in your day. It is putting Radha Golokananda in your day, and it makes a huge difference. Most of us may not be able to do that, but if you come to any part of the morning program and chant your rounds early in the beginning. I know some devotees here that chant a good considerable amount of rounds even before Mongol Arati. But it's a work in progress. But as soon as Krishna sees you have a sincere desire to create that kind of sadhana, he will reciprocate in so many different ways. And it really, I think Prabhupada said this, that if you go to Mongol Arati, Krishna will be in your day, more present.
God,
Yeah.
auspicious time of the day.
So the key for being humble is being married, one. No, I'm just repeating what Apurva Prabhu said. Being married, attending the morning program, and chanting good quantity and good quality of rounds early in the day.
Oh, yeah, and also
Putting Radha Golokananda in the first, yes Prabhu.
getting to bed early.
Getting to bed early.
And getting up early. The Brahma Muhurta hours are so supremely beneficial.
And this comes from a personality who is so attached to the morning program. Vedavyaspriya Prabhu was once telling me that he was getting to bed late because of his work and schedules.
And bhakti vrikshas.
And bhakti vrikshas. And by the time he was getting to sleep, it was 11 o'clock at night. And Vedavyas Priya Prabhu needs definitely a big applause in the assembly. Because talking about Apurva Prabhu and his morning program, it's incomplete without Vedavyas Priya Prabhu, who does the selfless, thankless task of going to Apurva Prabhu, picking him up every morning and bringing him to Radha Golokananda. Isn't that amazing service? So, Vedavyas Priya Prabhu was once telling me, Prabhu, my wake-up time is fixed because I have to bring Apurva Prabhu to Radha Golokananda, but somehow my sleep time gets disturbed because of hectic schedule. And one day Apurva Prabhu was telling me, what keeps you awake till 11 o'clock? You should sleep early. Your Guru Maharaj will be pleased if you sleep early and wake up early. And Vedavyas Priya Prabhu said, I felt like my Guru Maharaj was speaking through Apurva Prabhu. So, sleeping early, waking up early, chanting good rounds, attending the morning program. And yes. And feeding the cows from time to time. Yes.
Okay.
For Mother Kamalini, the question is, you have seen the movement right from the 70s, and you've been steadfast practicing bhakti for more than 50 years. What are some clear-cut do's and don'ts for the generation that we live in, which are the success formula? You follow the do's and keep away from the don'ts, and you can march through all the changes in society or the Krishna conscious society. What would your experiential secret be?
Okay. Well, not that it's painless. I asked Amarendra before, so I shouldn't say the changes that pain me. He said, no, keep it light. So it is kind of painful. There's so many changes, so many things are different. And so at the same time, I know that Prabhupada gave us such a simple formula, process. So the process, no matter, we see since time immemorial, this is what our great acharyas were doing. They were hearing and chanting, and they were preaching, our parampara, and so there's always that, just to stick to the process. I think for me, like the rock is hearing. Like I love, like my husband even more than me loves. We just hear lectures every waking moment. We listen to different lectures. Now we have this wonderful benefit of YouTube, and we can listen, and I love reading Srila Prabhupada's books. And I have a reading group. We're on our third reading of the Bhagavatam, including CC, we read, and Krishna book, and of course, several devotees. Dictionary has several reading groups. And that's like the foundation to always be hearing transcendental sound. And as Amarendra Prabhu often speaks in his lectures, which we don't mind hearing every single lecture, that now we have what Sachidananda Swami calls the monster in your pocket. How that phone distracts us so much. Like we don't even intend it at all. We go to check out something Krishna conscious, and before you know it, there's something else that looks attractive. So anyway, like I also have to like step back and realize, I'm not in charge. I have no managerial voice or no no say in the matter of how things go. So I step back and watch, and at the same time, I'm really inspired by the growth of the Hare Krishna movement. When we see now all of our temples, they're outgrowing their temples, and they have to keep building a new temple. Pretty soon we're going to outgrow our new temple, and so that's very, very inspiring that all over the world, right? And like in Delhi, how many temples are there? Like how there is an expansion. And then of course, how they're expanding there's different nuances. Some of them pain me, some of them enliven me, and at the same time realizing that different approaches will attract different kinds of people. So that's wonderful that the holy name is spreading, all over. And of course, Prabhupada said, about oiling the milk too. We want to oil the milk, not just expand in numbers, but expand in purity as well. So we have the process for purity.
So talking about oiling the milk, there comes the cow. So, to recapitulate what Mataji said, she said, keep away, as far as the don't is concerned, keep away the monster in the pocket away. Keep that monster away, or at least utilize the phone effectively. And as far as the do's are concerned, strict adherence to studying of Srila Prabhupada's books, having study groups and clubs, and constantly hearing Krishna Katha. Shravanam, hearing, Pathanam, studying, and keeping away from distraction on the phone. So these are some. So now we are entering into a time crunch zone of 2 minutes each. And this is quite an interesting module where we would request each one of you, or both of you, to give us a sales pitch. And the sales pitch is, first for Apurva Prabhu and then for Mother Kamalini. Apurva Prabhu, you spoke of the morning program. All of us want to come for the morning program, but there's something or the other that is keeping us awake at night, and we have to create a sadhana plus program for once a month morning program. Please give us a sales pitch inspiring the community here in 2 minutes to wake up and come to Sri Radha Golokananda every single day.
Wow, okay. Well, this is the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, and we know if we get Prabhupada's mercy, then Radha Golokananda and everything will go nicely. So the morning program is putting Krishna in our day, and it will also inspire us to perform devotional service, to be steady in our service, to be all the good qualities of a good devotee, a pure devotee. And I am so enlivened by this once a month program, and I hope it can increase to 2. It is so enlivening to be there with all the devotees and hearing and chanting through the auspices of Amarendra Prabhu, who is leading the charge with the holy name, and Aditya Narayan Prabhu. So there is a great strength in quantity of devotees coming together and taking the mercy of Radha Golokananda.
So beautiful, so beautiful. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sri Rupa Goswami speaks of 64 limbs of devotion, and over 35 of those limbs are performed just by coming for the morning program. That's quite inspiring. Offering obeisances, having darshan, having charanamrit, circumambulating tulsi, singing, dancing, chanting japa, studying shastra, hearing Bhagavatam, all of them. So Srila Prabhupada is pleased, bhakti is performed, and we set our agenda, our goal prominently present in the early hours of the day. That's wonderful, Prabhu. Thank you. Now for Mother Kamalini, please give us a sales pitch in 2 minutes, inspiring the whole community to come out on the street with books with you.
Okay, first of all, listen to Aditya Narayan Prabhu, our Sankirtan leader. And he's taken out so many devotees. So yeah, please come. Every time I go, I'm going all alone, and it'd be so nice to have others to come. And all of you like reading these books, and so will others once they are exposed, once they get an introduction. Like I said, mostly all of us join from getting a book, and then just like waking up when we read Srila Prabhupada's words and the scriptures. So all of you can have that opportunity. So many devotees say, but I don't know what to say. Well, guess what? You know a whole lot more than they do. You think that you don't know enough, but you know, the fact that you're sitting here proves that you know a whole lot more. And then I always tell devotees, you don't know what to say because you think that it is a monologue, but it's not a monologue, it's a dialogue. You ask people a question and they answer, and from that answer you have a foundation to talk more. Like one simple question, I say, you know about karma? So if they say no, then I know, okay, let's back up. Like, how much asleep are they that they don't know about karma? So you learn so much about them by asking questions. And then from there, you can, you can build a relationship. Like I've had some of my most ecstatic Krishna conscious connections with souls on book distribution, way more than any devotees even, because it's like so, first of all, I don't know any of their anarthas. Like when we're living with devotees all the time, we start to see some faults or become familiar with them. But when you're just meeting a soul, you just see that this is a pure soul, and they're attracted. They're attracted to this transcendental knowledge, and they reveal to you, I don't know, their struggles and things that are going on. Like you may have heard about by Srila Prabhu. I love a line real quick. He'll go. It's like, so let's see, one question is, I say, you know about stress, right? And then, I'll say, do you ever experience stress? So I'll stop now, but you can imagine the answers that I get. So from that answer, that so much can develop. So for example, so let me know, we'll make a schedule with the Dictionary when you can come with me.
So we can share the good fortune with others, the fortune that we've been blessed with, by sharing these books, and Srila Prabhupada will be happy, and their Krishna consciousness will start, and then Mother, you will be ready to train us on this journey, correct?
Yeah, as much as I can.
So now we get into the fast, very super fast moving, not super fast, but fast moving 1 minute questions. And we'll have one question each, fast moving real quick. Now here's where we want the cows and the calves to come in. So we'll start with Apurva Prabhu.
15 seconds before.
Prabhu, what's the funniest mistake you ever made as a new devotee?
I think I don't think it's very funny, but I put salt in the sweet rice.
Not funny. Well, mistakes, one of the mistakes.
Okay. Mother, question for you is, what is one crazy book distribution story you would want to share with us? Either funniest or most inspiring?
Well, I thought it was kind of, like I say, the most inspiring is when someone's like so interested and like so eager to hear more. But often we distribute at places that we're not exactly invited to be at. So I keep a tote of books in a shopping cart. So I was at a Kmart. Now I think they're not around anymore. But anyway, I distributed, and apparently someone had gone in the store and told the manager, there's somebody out there selling books. So I'm talking to this man, he's holding young man, holding the Bhagavad Gita in his hand, and the lady comes up in her car, the manager. She gets out of her car and she says, "Sir, you're not allowed to sell those books here." and he was astute enough to say, "Okay, I'm leaving now." And here I am with all my books in front of me, and she thinks he's selling to me. And so she drives back, and I continue.
Prabhu, question for you is a moment in your Krishna conscious life where you could clearly see the hand of Krishna, where you could see that Krishna was arranging things for you.
I guess it was when I made a prayer to Tulsi Devi during Tulsi worship. I was a pujari. And we say that prayer, O Tulsi, beloved of Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has his wishes fulfilled, bestowing your mercy upon him, you make her resident of Vrindavan. So I was a pujari, and when I spoke that, because...
And which temple was it in?
This is in the New York temple.
In Brooklyn, Henry Street.
50 years ago. And at that time, the men and the women were two separate Tulsi worship. I saw my wife in the Pujari room while I was making up the Tulsi tray. And it basically fell over heels, or whatever it's called. And so when I did the Tulsi worship, I made a prayer, oh Tulsi, if somehow or other you can make this arrangement. I have to say, I never talked to any authorities, but 6 months later, the Sankirtan leader, no, not the Sankirtan leader, Tosan Krishna.
So now you know the power of Tulsi worship?
She's very merciful.
She's very merciful. Wow. Tulsi Arti is never going to be the same in Europe. Everyone's going to be like,
So you said you never told anyone?
No.
But you did say to an authority that you'd like to get married?
Yes.
But didn't say to who?
No.
Okay, that's...
Should I leave? I don't want to sit between husband and wife talking about
But Tosan Krishna's wife, what's her name?
Sunita,
Right,
the late Sunita.
She knew that it was a good idea for you to get married. She talked to Tosan and said,
And
yeah.
the reason is, like I said in the beginning, anybody that asked you to do something, you would do it. So I was so overworked, and I would be sick with pneumonia, and still I would go on book distribution, and anyway, she just felt really sorry that I was being taken advantage of. She thought, that if you have a husband, then they won't let everyone tell you what to do. Anyway, that's why.
Just to reframe the question. The question was the moment when you saw the hand of Krishna. That is called Pani Grahan. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu. You're so amazing. You're so amazing. Mother Kamalini, question for you. You've been practicing bhakti for over 50 years. What if at the end we realize this is all just an illusion?
Okay, well,
the Krishna conscious practice. What would your response be?
I have thought of that. And I say still, it's the best life, even if it was an illusion, even if I don't get the spiritual rewards that are promised, still the process itself is the best life, even without that, even without the bright future that we are guaranteed. So That's what I'd say.
So with that, we'll start the rapid fire. You want to sip some water? I definitely want to sip some water. Especially after the story. We'll see.
That's why every anniversary we have Tulsi Puja.
Tulsi Puja. More secrets are coming out. Nice. So let's start with the rapid fire. This is going to be one sentence. We're going to have different formats here. The first format is one sentence answer. The second format after this is I'm going to give you two options where you pick one over the other. And the third format is where I'll give you half a sentence and you'll have to complete the sentence for me. Okay? Let's start with the first one. One sentence rapid fire. Best decision of your life.
Getting married to him.
Next question, Prabhu.
It's getting fiery for me. Okay. Mataji, your favorite book of Srila Prabhupada?
Srimad Bhagavatam. If I had to take one canto
Mm.
to a deserted island, I would take the third canto. It's so full. All of them are.
Prabhu, the most inspiring ISKCON devotee you've ever met in your life?
I guess that would be...
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't have to be old. Could be someone
Amal Harina.
now.
Let's see. What did Krishna do? Okay. Daiva Shakti.
Mother Devi Shakti, favorite diamond. Mother Kamalini, if Radha Golokananda appears to you right now, face to face, and they ask you for one desire that they are ready to fulfill with their magic wand, what would it be?
Okay. It would be to please, please, please give me the holy name, and in the amount of hours that I spend chanting, let it be many more mantras, and should realize the holy name, what all of our acharyas are talking about.
It's a taste for Harina. Apurva Prabhu, one word that you would use to describe Srila Prabhupada.
Magnanimous. Magnanimous.
And Mother Kamalini, one last question. Something about Srila Prabhupada that the Prabhupada disciples know that the present generation don't know.
It's supposed to be one word?
One
Okay.
sentence.
Well, what I find they do know, but still, I find the most incredible quality is his time management. How in 124 hours, what Srila Prabhupada could fit into 24 hours. We all have the same 24 hours, but I'm always amazed how he could manage a worldwide society, everything, as you all know, how he can write books, how he can train disciples, how he could be present, present for each and every person in his presence.
So Prabhupada's time management. Srila Prabhupada ki. Let's get to this or that.
Okay.
Right? We're going to give you two options and you can pick one over the other and we won't ask you why. Okay? First question, and this is for Prabhu. Book distribution together or cooking in the kitchen together?
Cooking in the kitchen together.
for Mother Kamalini.
All right, book distribution.
Keeping the Grihastha spirit going. Okay, next question. Apurva Prabhu. Traveling with Srila Prabhupada or staying in one temple and following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada in separation?
Traveling with Srila Prabhupada. That would be
Yes.
the best.
Traveling with Srila Prabhupada? Oh, okay, beautiful. Mother Kamalini, big festivals, preaching festivals, or quiet, meditative temple life?
Big Sankirtan festival.
For Apurva Prabhu question, simple prasadam or opulent prasadam? And this is as far as cooking for Vaishnavas is concerned.
Opulent prasadam.
And as far as honoring is concerned. And as far as honoring is concerned, yes.
Honor, yes.
Do you want
Opulent prasadam?
simple or opulent? You want everyone to
Oh,
honor?
Yeah.
Opulent
For
prasadam.
him.
Okay.
For you. For him.
For himself.
For him.
Yes. Opulent prasadam for yourself or simple prasadam for yourself? Which one would you prefer for yourself?
For myself?
Yes.
Opulent.
That's a stamped ISKCON devotee right there. Okay. Now we'll start with the series of complete the sentence. So I'm going to give half the sentence, Prabhu, and then you can try to complete the sentence for us. The biggest sacrifice I made for Krishna consciousness was?
Surrendering my whole life.
Surrendering my whole life. Mother Kamalini, the question for you. If I could relive one day out of my 50 years of Krishna conscious devotional life, which day would that be?
Okay, that one day would be when I'm distributing books and tirelessly with unbounded energy, physical, mental, spiritual, and meeting so many receptive people. And I guess I've had some days, so that's the day.
The instruction from Srila Prabhupada that shaped my life the most was?
Following the morning program and following the regular principles and being a fully committed Vaishnava.
Fully committed Vaishnava. Thank you. Mother Kamalini, I love Radha Golokananda because?
Well, they're always there. They're always accepting. They're always forgiving, and just available, and that they're so nicely taken care of by the pujaris and gardeners.
Prabhu, the proudest moment in your life was?
When I cooked for Srila Prabhupada for 1 week, and the last day I gave him his plate, paid my obeisances, and saw him honoring the prasad.
We want to know more about that, Prabhu. What did you cook? What did Prabhupada like? What did he say? How was the experience like?
Actually, I was very nervous around Srila Prabhupada, so I wouldn't even bring him his plate. But on the last day, his servant told me, "This is your last chance." And Srila Prabhupada's meal consisted of chapatis, rice dal, yellow split mung dal, and at least 2 sabjis, 1 bitter melon, and then always 1 sweet like Bajamil or Sandesh, something of that nature. And that's about it.
Did Prabhupada tell you something after honoring Prasad? Did he say something that touched you for life forever?
No, he didn't speak with me at all. Whenever Prabhupada ate, he ate by himself, and he just relished in prasada. So I was very nervous. I just put his plate there and paid my obeisances.
And he didn't ask you to make something?
No.
Yes, somebody else.
Yeah.
Mother Kamalini, the question
Oh.
for you is 2 qualities about Apurva Prabhu that is very inspiring for everyone.
Okay, like you mentioned, his genuine humility, and he really does not find fault with anyone. And if anybody speaks fault, he'll walk away and he'll say, that's Vaishnava Aparad. He's like so appreciative of devotees and doesn't find fault with anybody.
Apurva Prabhu, 2 qualities about Mother Kamalini that are very devotional and inspiring.
She's very, very expert at explaining Shastra and enlivening the devotees with her speech. And she always keeps me under her thumb. Keeps me free from anarthas. She knows my anarthas.
He doesn't have too many. And you will.
Yeah, she doesn't wonder why. That's a lot.
As we conclude the talk show, the podcast, the discussion with Apurva Prabhu and Mother Kamalini, we want to ask 2 questions before we conclude. And the first question is, and this is for Mother Kamalini, if you meet Srila Prabhupada today, what is one thing that you will ask him?
Well, like how, like my first statement is apologies, I'm so sorry. Like every day I say to the deities, I'm so sorry. Please help me that I could do better tomorrow. And then I would ask him like really to please give me a push to become a serious devotee because it's not such a light thing to become a pure devotee.
So you would ask him for his blessings?
Yeah.
Okay. Apurva Prabhu, if you meet Srila Prabhupada today, what is one thing you will tell him?
I will tell him that I love him and that I would thank him so much for everything that he's done for us. And he brought the whole world to Goloka, and he's inviting everyone. And he went through so many austerities, especially the last few months that he was on the planet. And he was always at the same time there to counsel and serve the Vaishnavas and finish his Bhagavatam purports non-stop from his last breath. He was translating and finishing the 10th canto.
So you will express gratitude. And as Mother Kamalini will ask for blessings and Apurva Prabhu will express gratitude, be on the receiving end as your children, as the next generation to the movement. What would be your closing comments to this talk show be as advice for all of us? What are the things that we would like to, what are the things to take care for while embarking on this journey? Advice for the next generation.
First of all, we should, although I need to work on this myself, but we should read Srila Prabhupada's books at least for 1 hour a day, and 2 if you can, to follow his, especially all of his initiated disciples, chant your 16 rounds, follow the 4 regular principles, go to the morning program and take association of sadhu, sanga, and serve your deities.
Serving the deities, morning program, associating with devotees, chanting good rounds, and studying Srila Prabhupada's book for at least 1, preferably 2 hours a day. Sure. And Mother Kamalini, your points of advice?
Like, my advice is be eager to take advice, because devotees don't give advice that freely. So unless one is eager for it, that means like now, like even Dear Krishna Swami has mentioned in his classes many times how I can't even instruct my disciples sometimes, because they don't want to take it. They'll be offended. So if you're going to be offended, you're not going to receive any good advice or good instructions. And so to be willing, like like we heard from Vaisheshika, that he heard from a radio show, I live to be corrected, and being corrected is painful and it smashes our false ego. But if we could just be very grateful to be corrected. And then the main thing is, if devotees know that we're not interested in prajalpa, because prajalpa is so easy, rolls off our tongue, and like trivial talk is so easy. But if devotees know, oh, I only want to talk about transcendental topics or improving, then that's what we'll get. That's the association we can give each other, give that transcendental association.
Mother, did you say I live to be correct?
Yes.
Live to be corrected.
What?
I live to be corrected,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I almost heard it as I live to be correct. So, thank you so much. Mother Kamalini and Apurva Prabhu. And naturally the question comes, if you have a rapid fire round, you want to know who wins the contest, right? You can't just have a rapid fire without a winner. So I noted the responses. I noted the response time. The winner for the rapid fire round
Amarendra
is...
Prabhu.
The winner for the rapid fire round
Prabhu!
is
Prabhu!
someone who, apart from being devotional, pure, selfless, is also celebrating their birthday today.